Hey guys, welcome back to another Moondog trading video. Tonight's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cardano, Solana, Shiba, and Avalanche in that order. First, we're going to start on the Bitcoin chart on the daily. Oh, right here's the hourly. Oh yeah, this is what we drew up the other. Look at this, guys. We talked about going up here. We went up here, and then I talked about maybe bouncing in this area and coming back. That's funny how that drawing kind of worked out, but that was an ugly drawing. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to go to the daily. What do we see on the daily? Guys, now based on a candle formation, I am not liking this candle, okay? I don't like the way this candle setting up. Now, is it the end of the world yet? No. What I would like to see on the daily right now as we speak, I'm also getting rid of this 44 because that's irrelevant. I would like to see us get above this area right here, coming in around 45, 600, or 44, 600, excuse me. If we do that on this day, see how it's flipping green now? If we do that, then I could see us definitely pushing up to this upside, past this 45 into this, at least touching this 45, 800, and then maybe moving up to this 48 to 4 or 47, 680 to 4,800 even. Right now, the candle is turning green. What I don't want to see is, we really don't want to see this. Let's pull up a fib real quick. Let's just do a 618, guys. Something easy, top to bottom. Now, what could happen is we could go down and maybe, worst case scenario, in my opinion, is we come down, we do something like this. If this candle continues to come down and it breaks this solid, because right now we're kind of hanging in the solid part of this candle. But what I don't want to see is if it starts to drag down, we could see it at least come down and make a new low, or not a new low, but a new previous low, which was down here. And then maybe we could see what happens at this 43,173 mark. Now, if it keeps going, I would look for around this area right here, right around this 42,789 to 42,654. That would be an area I would look for to bounce, or even this trend line right here. You could see the trend is our friend. We could even come down here and wick this trend, coming in around 42,290. Okay. Now to the upside, like I said, guys, let's break this solid part of the candle. If we can do that, if we can get above this 44, like just say 600 even, then yeah, I would look for a test higher. Yeah, I would look for a test higher. Let's look at some of the indicators. Let's see. The MACD will continue to cross on the daily. Now, this daily is only the candle's only a half hour old, guys. 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'm on the East Coast, so this candle is only a half hour into its lifespan here. So you got to keep that in mind. This is a brand new candle on the daily. So let's see how this reacts. So what I like to do is watch the daily, see how it reacts, especially within the first 4 hours. Okay. So we're going to look at the daily chart real quick. The MACD will continue to cross to the upside as long as we're above 43,335. If we do fall into that, then we could see the MACD starting to turn down. Let's see what else. Volatility is kind of just, it's kind of to the downside. What I would like to see is this turning up, and the RSI making a nice move to the upside, which we're seeing a little bit of bit of hidden divergence right here. But let's see if that plays out. If it can close, it's on the daily. If it does close under the $44,000 area, then yes, we could see a little dip down, maybe even to that 42 mark that we just talked about. But eventually, I do see more upside because we're going to look at the weekly, guys. And the weekly will continue to cross as long as we're above the MACD will, as long as we're above 43,091, it'll start to actually cross. Actually, it didn't even cross yet. It will, though, above that price. If we can end the week, by Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern time, then yes, this would be going up. Also, we also have beautiful. This is some beautiful bullish divergence on the RSI. We're getting a cross up. Also, on top of all that, on the weekly, the stochastic indicator is also turning up to the upside. So we're seeing a lot of nice, beautiful things. You could even see here, just everything is just looking good, guys, on the weekly. Okay. I mean, you even look at the candle setup. I like this little candle setup. We got to see how the next candle drives. But yeah, if the next candle, well, it depends where he closed. So we'll have to look at that later on down the line because it's, it's only Wednesday. So we'll look at that on a different day. But the weekly is looking great. Now, the daily, we could see a little pullback here, but it's not confirmed yet, guys. Just keep an eye on the candle. But we are crossing to the downside on the stochastic. What else is happening here? Well, MACD, we talked about that. Momentum is not really there right now. So, yeah, we could see a little lagger. Now, if this candle does do this, guys, see, right now it's flattening out. It's having trouble. If it starts to come down, especially in this area or gets close to the low, I could see us making a new low and maybe even bouncing and going like that. That would be my first idea, or at least holding this trend like we talked about. We've been on this for 6 minutes. We're going to go to the 4 hour because that's very important within the next 4 hours. The 4 hour, not looking too good, but we could still test this trend. Or you see my circle right there on that number. Yeah, the 4 hour is not looking so hot. Stochastic turning down. RSI is not crossed there yet. Let's see. I mean, we have it on 9. It hasn't crossed it yet, but it's actually, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it did cross down. It's crossing down to the downside. And the MACD will continue to cross to the downside as long as we're under 44, 166. So if within the next 4 hours, so around like what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock would be an ideal spot. If we're down under 44, 166, around 11, then yeah, we could see a little bit of a pullback. But we'll have to see how the daily candle plays out. Because here's the thing. Bitcoin's starting to turn around right now as we speak. So let's see if that daily does turn around and start moving to the upside, which it can very possibly do. And like I said, if we do break this area, I do believe more upside. Ethereum, guys, Ethereum's doing it. Okay. Now, I don't like these type of candles. You could see one right here. I mean, it's not as good as an example because the wick is a lot bigger here. But you can see what happens once this usually happens. Boom, it goes down. Now, we didn't get much of a solidness here, so it was kind of even. It was a tug of war. But you could see here, well, we actually had a green one. This would be bearish, or this would be a pullback indicator for me, and we did get that pullback here, but we are getting the same setup right here. So the only difference is it didn't really get to that high. See, this one got a little higher and then came back down. So it's a little bit different of a setup. I'm trying to give you guys a good idea of what I'm talking about here. Let's see. We just gotta wait, guys. I mean, I should start doing these videos later so we get more. I mean, we're pretty accurate. Come on, guys. This is ridiculous. What am I talking about? All right. So look, here's the deal. This is our old trend. Okay. This is our old trend. I know there's a bunch of lines here. I got to clean this up. So this old trend right here, we're going to go and look at, we're going to make it white. Okay. Our old trend's here. Then we had this trend. So now we have like this little channel almost, even though I didn't even draw that channel up on purpose, but it is starting to develop. But we do want to break above this trend. We talked about in yesterday's video coming up and closing above this trend. What happened? We came up, got rejected, came back down. We actually came to my bottom perfect at 30 or 3,036 was my first target. We actually came down there and hit that perfect, and now we got our bounce. We talked about that pullback was a possibility in yesterday's video. We got the pullback. We hit our target perfect. And now it's just about getting back above this area pretty much coming in at that 31.52. But I still want to break this trend, guys. So let's get above. You know what? We need to clear 3,000 now. Get a daily candle closing above 3,300 area, and then I would look to hold that trend and look for more upside until this trend breaks. Nothing too fancy here. Let's see. The MACD on the daily will continue to go up as long as we're above 3,200. Let's see short-term time frames, 4 hour. It will continue to go up as long as we're above 31.38, which we currently are right now. So that's good. So all that's looking good on Matic or on Cardano. Or what am I doing? Guys, this is. You know what? I'm starting to get confused. I'm looking at all these now. Ethereum. Okay, we're on Ethereum. But now we're going to go to Matic. We're going to look at Matic. Matic had our beautiful move, guys. I talked about a little pullback. Look where it pulled back to, guys. I talked about the 175. We hit the 175 target. Perfect. I talked pull back 175. If the 181 doesn't hold, pull back to 175. It did that. And then what happened? We got a nice bounce off of there. Now let's see if this candle can break above 88, then yes, I think we could. I think we could just clear this. Well, it depends how much volume we get. Let's see what kind of move that would be. That would be a move, not 4%. So let's see what kind of volume we can get and get past this 192. And then on the daily, the only other resistance I'd be looking at in this zone would be this 50-day moving average. You guys can see it right here, which is coming in right around $1.95, and then 206 and 209 would be my next targets to the upside if we do get past the 50. And if we get a daily candle closing above there, that would look very bullish. Let's see. The MACD will continue to cross on the daily. It doesn't show me because it's $1. I forgot about that. RSI is looking good. Stochastic is moving up. So maybe this is one of those things where Bitcoin follows Ethereum and follows some of the altcoins. I didn't check the dominance chart yet, which I should have, but I don't have time to do it now for you guys. So that's something. If the dominance chart looks good, guys, then yeah, that we could see the altcoins pulling up Bitcoin. That does happen. So let's see if that's the case. We're gonna move on to Matic. Matic. Oh, I'm sorry, Cardano. Cardano. Wow, did that really look, guy? Look how. Are you kidding me? Look how good my TA is. We have 106. Look at this. The daily from today hit that 106 perfect. When I talked about the pullback, guys, 106. I said 107, 106, 107 on the hold. Look for that 106 mark. I know it's kind of bunched up together, but those were my two areas. We wait for the bounce. Boom. Once you saw this bounce, you can start to go. Now we're getting kind of the rejection at the 108. So now what do I want to see? A 4 hour or a 6 hour closing above this 108, and maybe we could get past the 110 and then get past this previous high on this candle on the daily is what I'd want to see for more upside on this move. And then maybe we could hit 112 and then the 116 mark. I'll mark the 112 for you guys right there. And that's what I would be looking for Cardano to the downside. Let's see first our 107 holds. If that doesn't hold, then yeah, definitely the 106. You don't want to see a new low get put in. But if this does break down here, then we could be looking at this 105 area. Okay. Solana, let's see, the daily. Well, we got our pullback, guys. We got our pullback. What did we get it to? Oh, that's so funny. Remember when? Well, I guess you guys watched my videos yesterday. You remember when I had the fib at 98? I said, oh, I'll erase that because 98, 99 would be the area we'd be looking for. Look at this, 98. Got down to 98, perfect. I had the fib up there. I took it down because I figured it was so small you guys couldn't see it, so I just called the number out. But it did go to that area. We talked about the 99 to 98 area would be the pullback, and we were all the way up at 105. So that was a decent pullback. That was a pullback of about 7 or 8%. 8%. So now what are we seeing? Well, we're finally breaking out of this trend. So now let's see if the trend holds. If we fall back under this trend, get a daily candle closing underneath this trend, this orange line right here, then yes, we could see more downside. Maybe first target 90 and 80. Now, if this trend holds up and we break this high of 105, 106, I'm just going to say 105, 106 because I do like the 106 better on a previous thing. But as long as we create a new high here, then we could be setting up for the ugly W. I call it the ugly W because it's not perfect, but it's still a W pattern. And my target would still be up here at this range. Now, the 130, guys, the 121 and 130 is going to be really hard to get past. And also, the 50-day moving average is coming in right around the 121. So keep that in mind. That could act as resistance. How much time do we have left? 15 minutes. That could act as resistance. So you definitely want to keep your eye on that. So you don't want to see anything come up and then get rejected here. Boom. Because if that does that, then we could create an ugly M pattern. Okay, we don't want the M pattern because then we break that and then we're got to look at downside targets. Okay, well, it depends if you're shorting or not, but I'm trying to do this channel, guys, for all you guys that are just not playing with leverage, not shorting, just trading or just using just using whatever platform you're using that don't have those options because a lot of them don't in America. So it is what it is. So let's see if this plays out. We got the trend. Now, with that being said, I'm still looking at this bigger trend right here on the daily, the bump and run. If this bump and run works, we come up. Like I said, we could come up to this 166, retest, come back down 134. That would be a great entry point because then I think, our targets would be right around this 244 area, which would be one heck of a freaking move, guys. So just keep an eye on that for Solana. Now, Shib Army, Shib Nation, we talked about this, slight pullback, maybe touching this area, retesting this trend, which we kind of went down and retested it. Now I want to see a daily get above the 31.64. If we could do that, then maybe, just maybe, we can get above this little box I have right here and go, which is anywhere from 32.90 to 32.17. And then I would be looking for this 35 area, 35 to 35.54. And if we can get a 6-hour candle closing above that, then yes, we could look for that 4,000 to 45.90 area, or even a daily would be better. Okay. To the downside on SHIB, let's just see if this previous low at 27.45 holds up. Actually, no, this low. We're gonna do this so you guys don't get your butt kicked. We don't want to see, if we see this candle break right here at 3,000, then yeah, we could see this 28 and 27 area because these moves are small, but they're a lot of percentage. So I don't want you guys getting crushed. We still got 17 minutes. We're going to talk about Avalanche. We're going to move on. Let's see. Did I cover everything on SHIB? Yeah. And the 50-day on SHIB, it's already passed, and it's at 27.60. So let's also see if that holds up. If it does come down, let's see if we can get a bounce off this 50-day moving average. It acts like support, and then move to the upside from there. But this is looking pretty good right now. I do like this setup, but let's see if it follows through because let's face it, guys. Bitcoin runs the show, right? Avalanche, okay? Avalanche is, guys, you couldn't even play this any better than what we did. All right. So we had our trend line. I called it an ugly trend, but I said I'm gonna trust the trend because this is my trend. This is what I want to see happen. Now, ugly trend, and look how perfect it played out. We had this ugly bearish wedge. I talked about this, hitting the top of this bearish wedge, coming back, getting rejected. If it came back, got rejected, we could see more downside, right? Then we would wait for a bounce off my trend. I mean, guys, you could not play this any better. We got our move to the upside. First of all, we broke this trend, got our move to the upside, made big gains there, okay? And we called the bottom twice, right here and right down here, okay? Then we came back, we hit my trend line perfect, and we're currently getting the bounce right now. I mean, you could not play this any better. You could, guys, this is like amazing how we talk about all these moves. Think about this, days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, 2 weeks in the making, and I drew this up 2 weeks ago. And this is what we came up with, right? Or let's say maybe not 2 weeks, maybe 10 days or 9 days, but pretty close, okay? The whole point is that we drew this up perfect. It's played out perfect. We got 12 seconds. I got to end the video. Look for 98 to hold up at 117. Guys, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say is just my opinion, educational purpose only. Much love to all you guys. And